Hey guys, what's up? It's Brian again with Staying Strong for Marriages. Hey, thanks for showing back up. Today I happen to be shooting from the airport. Not maybe the best location, but it is kind of tucked out of the way. So, I wanted to do a video today talking about Romans 2. I was reading through that, cruising through it just yesterday actually. And it's a great book. If you haven't really checked it out, working your way through Romans, especially the first 8 chapters, it's really cool. But I'm going to talk just briefly about chapter 2. So Paul is basically painting this picture, creating this argument for kind of how people are in general, the problems that we have, the moral predicaments we find ourselves in, I suppose you could say. Just the things that all of us do wrong, and how that kind of relates in comparison to the way God does things, the way that God runs his life. So, he's saying a lot of different things, but one thing he says here early on in chapter 2 is he says that we can't judge other people because as soon as we do, we find that we're guilty of the exact same things. And so we can often say that when we're thinking about other people in our lives, that they're blowing it in this way or that way or whatever, But we always got to be careful about that because, honestly, let's not forget us on our worst day, right? However, I've been thinking really a lot about this because maybe it was just coming out of the holidays, I don't know, but how great it is whenever you're feeling like some of those old memories, how maybe you don't feel accepted, loved, worthy, or that you performed at the highest level that you're capable of, and you just feel like you kind of let yourself down, you didn't hit your own standards, let alone God's standards. We can always come back and just pray the blood of Christ over those mistakes in our past, over the blunders, the sins, whatever, because that's exactly what that's for. So if you have things that are really starting to hang you up, I really think that the point where you will become emotionally free from those things is the exact same point when you really realize, you know what, that's been paid for. That thing was paid for, and I have full access to forgiveness for that exact thing in my life. That's why God died. That's why Christ sacrificed for that exact moment in my life so I could be free from it. And I think that this is a thing for me where there's things where I just feel like, man, I could have done so much better. I really beat myself up for it. I feel guilty at times. And I just, I'm sure that this is a similar experience, not just for me, but for many, many people. Everyone I've talked to says the same thing. And this is why, really what's, I think, so amazing about Christianity, just in that sense, because we have this problem and there's a solution right for it. So I'll just read this and sign off. It says Romans 2:2. It says, "Now we know that God's judgment against those who do such things is based on truth. So when you, a mere human being, pass judgment on them and yet do the same thing, do you think you will escape God's judgment? Or do you show contempt for the riches of his kindness, forbearance, and patience, not realizing that God's kindness is intended to lead you to repentance?" Now it goes on, and it says that some people decide to kind of take advantage of that patience of God and consider exactly these things that are being discussed. But why I bring this up for those of you that are standing is really an encouragement. You may not even realize that God's doing this work in you, but basically, you are walking exactly in the Father's footsteps. That when he's interacting with people, he's patient with them, and he holds out the truth, and in a loving way, he says, let's work this out, basically. And I think that's exactly what any person who's standing and praying for their marriage in patience, waiting for basically an opportunity to reconcile, for repentance, for honesty, for truth, for forgiveness, for humility. That's what's up. That's what's up when it comes to God interacting with people. And if that's what you're doing, don't miss that that's the work that God's doing in your life. Be encouraged. Realize that you may think that you're only standing because of your emotional attachment or your familiarity or your history with someone that you married, but probably in a much bigger sense, you got to be honest. You got to say, some aspect of this is definitely God. God is doing something in this that's above and beyond me. So, I don't know, man. Think about it. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.